Good evening. So today, myself, Lauren Smith, and my coworker, whose name is also Lauren, we're going to answer a couple of questions that our students have in reference to being aspiring estheticians. They graduate this year. Some graduate in June, some graduate in October, August, etc. But entering into the field, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a couple of questions, or they're going to run into a couple of problems, and we got answers. All right, so Courtney, we can start with you. What's your question?
How do you charge your brand ambassador or someone that you're practicing in?
Say it a little bit louder.
How do you charge a brand ambassador or someone that you're practicing with?
How do you charge a brand ambassador or somebody you're practicing on? As a student, me practicing on people, I wouldn't charge them at all. As far as a brand ambassador, typically what people do is they'll give them a percentage off, like 25% off, 50% off, or they'll give them, like, I guess, credits in a sense. You know how you shop at Ulta, and whenever you buy certain things, they, give you like points and stuff like that. So I'm thinking it could be something like that, or like a gift card or something like that. But yeah, as a professional though, I would say if you're doing models as a licensed esthetician, if you're taking models, I would give them, if you don't want to give them a free service, I would say 50% off. Miss Lauren, what do you think?
It depends what you need them for. So, because the whole point of having a brand ambassador is to have somebody who serves your brand in a way that is helpful towards you.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends what you want from them, and that ultimately establishes what deal you have.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do credits. You can't actually pay them. Some people want money in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on what you want out of it.
Cool. Does that answer your question? Okay, cool. All right. Miss Letitia, you got your question?
Have you ever had to fire a client? If so, and why?
Have I? Stop playing with me. I sure did. So, before coming here, I fired all of my clients. Yeah, I stopped servicing clients. But there has been a couple of people where I did tell them they could not come back. This one guy specifically, he was very weird. Do y'all want the full story, or y'all just want a synopsis? Full story?
Whichever one. I want to know what you said, what you did, how you looked at you. Stuff him in his shit.
Ooh. So this one guy, I thought he was an older lady, right? So I thought he was an older lady, because the way he was talking, he had like a lisp, and he had like a real high pitched voice. So I thought it was an older lady. He was like, at this time I'm thinking it's a lady. The person's like, well, I have locks, and I found that you had, I found a couple of reviews for you online. I want to come in and get my locks retwisted. So I was like, as a matter of fact, I was doing a scalp treatment, but he was like, do you also retwist locks? And I was like, sure. So the person came for a scalp treatment, and then I retwisted their locks. But when he arrived, it was like 7 p.m., which was the last client I was taking. So he arrived at like 7. And the person gets to the door, and I see it's a big ASS man. It's not no little tiny little old lady. It's not an old lady. It's a big man. And he just looks real interesting. So I'm like, he's here already. Like, I got to service him, trying to not be discriminative and stuff like that. So I started doing his hair. And as I'm doing his hair, I noticed that he has like lesions in his head. And it caused his hair to like thin out, for lack of better words. So as I was retwisting his hair, he was like, ouch, you're hurting me. I'll be like, is it too tight? And he'll be like, no, it's not too tight. And then I'll do that section and go to a whole nother section. He's like, it hurts right here. And he was just like doing a lot of complaining. But the part that was really interesting, he was like, he asked me, do I do house calls? Like, was I a traveling beautician? And I said no. Something just didn't, like, it just didn't seem right. So I was like, no. So he was like, well, I asked because I run a gentleman's club in my apartment. And he was like, I got a little inflatable jacuzzi. And he was like, maybe while the men are in the jacuzzi enjoying female entertainment, retwist their hair. And I was like, yeah, nah, Slim, you a little interesting. So I still kind of was like, okay, well, he didn't do anything outrageous. I was just like, he's just weird. So he came another time, and this time he takes it upon himself to book color, lock retwist, and a scalp treatment. So that's like a 3-4 hour service. And gratefully, my friend was there getting her hair done. So I wasn't there by myself. But so I'm sorry, it's a long story. But anyway, so this second time around when he came, he brought this color, and I'm like, you don't show up to an appointment with your own products. That's number one. I'm like, I can't use this. I don't use outside products. So he was just like, you know what your problem is? He was like, you know what your problem is? You don't want to use my stuff because he said something like, you just want to do what you want to do or something like that. So he was already pissing me off because of how he was acting. He was acting the same way he was acting last time, and he was saying inappropriate stuff. So I was like, this will be your last time getting serviced by me. It was very straight to the point. I didn't have to fuss at him. I didn't have to cuss him out. I was just like, this will be the last time I'm servicing you. And he was like, okay.
I'm like, I can't service you today at all.
But that's just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's still paid and everything. Yep. I finished it. I finished the service. Because when you think about it as a professional, never back down from a challenge unless it's putting you in harm's way. So I finished his service. I did everything I had to do. At the end, I got paid, and at the end of his at the end of his service, I let him know I'm not servicing you no more. Yep. Yep. All right, Miss Charmaine, you got your question?
I got a plenty. No, I was gonna ask, what are some policies or like guidelines that as estheticians or whatever that we should put in place for our own businesses, or if we're working on something else, how should we go about that?
That's a very interesting question. Let's say you work at a franchise, right? And they have policies, but you specifically as an individual, you have a certain way you like to be treated. How do you navigate that? Especially if you have policies that your franchise does not emphasize. You could talk to your manager about it, and hopefully your manager is a little bit hopefully your manager is flexible and understands the fact that you are providing a service and you have the right to choose to be treated a certain kind of way. But if they don't, you could try to build that relationship with your clients, because at the end of the day, it's just like having a relationship with somebody. Like there's certain people, when you build a relationship with them, you let them know this is the way I like to be treated. So if you are working under a franchise, or if you're working under somebody else, you still have that liberty to tell your clients, I like to start your service on time. I prefer you to get here 15 minutes early. I prefer you to text me if you're running 15 minutes late. Things like that, like communicate as much as you can. And I would still find a respectful and efficient way of talking to that manager or that supervisor to state your personal policies. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I was about to say, wake up,
My
Aaliyah.
question is,
She be tripping.
what is your favorite service to do? As in, like, you feel like you perfected it. You can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want that answer.
Yeah, I want to hear from the other Miss Lauren too.
Miss Lauren, you go first.
Sorry.
What is your favorite service to do that you feel like that's you? If you didn't do no other services, you would definitely do this one.
But that's a good question because it's difficult in a field where you can do so many things to pick one. So that's the hard part. But once you do, it's easier to navigate. But I would say waxing. Waxing is pretty easy. I agree.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Facials?
huh?
No facials?
Facials, yeah, but they time consuming.
Yeah,
They're time consuming.
laundry.
Yeah. So I would say the service that I could do like with my eyes closed all day, every day would probably be Brazilians. It doesn't take a lot of thought. You just taking hair off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that laundry. I felt that she said laundry. I was like,
Yeah. I mean, facial's a whole mood. Now I don't mind doing that, but it's like, I much rather just talk about it and get it done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't answer my question.
You said it did or it didn't?
No, I said that.
Oh, okay. All right, LaShawn, what's your question?
how did you decide how to mix different ingredients to make great products?
How did I decide to mix different ingredients to make great products? Research, Google, figuring out how what goes with what's beneficial, all that good stuff. You got an answer for this one too?
Yeah, trial and error.
Yes.
Don't be scared to fail.
Yes.
I hate failing. Nobody wants to fail, but you at least gotta learn something from it. So,
And consistency, that goes hand in hand with trial and error. You make something one day, you try it on yourself, and you're like, this is not good. Like, you gotta be consistent to keep remaking it until it is good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Is it difficult starting up your own business as a restricted licensed esthetician?
Is it difficult starting up your own business as a restricted licensed esthetician? That's the question, right? No. Because even though there's so many things we can't do, so in the state of Maryland, we can't do massage unless it's applying products or taking off products. We can't do chemical peels. We can't do microdermabrasion. We can't do muscle stimulating machinery. But with all that being said, we can do various amounts of facials. We can do all kinds of body waxing. There's so many other tools that we can use, what is that joint called? The ultrasonic.
Yeah.
What is that little scrubber thing? You know what I'm talking about?
It's the ultrasonic. I think I'm missing the word though, but it's ultrasonic.
Not the spin brush, but y'all know that little thing with the thin plate and you use it for extractions.
Oh, yeah.
And it shakes and vibrates the dermis. Yeah, it's like a little scraper. So we could use that. We could do chemical exfoliation.
High frequency? Is that?
I don't necessarily know if high frequency is considered a muscle stimulating machinery. But yeah, we could do beard treatments. And if we can do high frequency, that's something that goes into beard treatments. That's something that goes into facials. We could do vajacials, butt facials, back facials, body polishes, tint, brow artistry, brow waxing, brow tinting, brow extensions, lash extensions. And something that I found to be vital is to pick a specific area that you want to focus on Even if you say, okay, I'm gonna do, let's say you say, for my first year, I'm gonna focus on facials, right? In that first year, by you focusing on one demographic, you'll be able to be proficient in that one little area. And then if you choose to go on 2 years later and just do body waxing, that's like, you guys get what I mean? It's something you have like a variety. You have a variety of different things, but I found that sticking to a specific demographic brings you money consistently versus if you're just doing versus if you were trying to do everything in one setting. If you're trying to do waxing and facials and body polishes and brow artistry all in the same like setting, same time, you'll have inconsistencies. Yeah, there's no room to practice it, and then you gonna have seasons where it just seems like it's just a drought. Yep.
If you are waxing a client, why shouldn't you land in here?
If you're waxing a client, why shouldn't? Well, okay, generally, why you shouldn't land. You're using soft wax, you have a tab. So you don't have to pick up anything. You don't have to flick anything. You just put your strip on there and remove it. So it doesn't really hair. But it's start from an area that doesn't have no hair. Like if you have a back, it's hair all over that back. Like it's inevitable. Yeah. But for Brazilians specifically, for for Brazilians specifically, you shouldn't land in here because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be using hard wax, and with hard wax you have to lift your tab, and then you have to grab onto that tab and remove it. So let's say you landed in some hair and that person feels you lifting up that tab. They feel you pulling that hair now. And it's just like, it's kind of unnecessary. And then when you think about it, sometimes it's harder to grip that tab because the hair is in the way.
Makes so much sense. I'll be like, girl, make sure you don't hair right there. This way. Right. You could park here.
Y'all in these parts. Aaliyah was talking about a part.
Okay.
Does that answer your question though? Okay, good. All right, Courtney, you got another question?
Okay. Do you have to start off in a spa or a salon before you break off in the boutique?
Say it again. What was the question again?
Do you have to start off in a spa or salon before you branch off independently?
You don't have to, but it's recommended. Can I give you guys a scenario? So let's say you straight from school, not having any experience with being an entrepreneur, you go and get your own suite, right? Now you have to figure out everything. You have to figure out how to do inventory while trying to build your clientele. You have to pay booth rent. You have to pay yourself and still make sure it's enough revenue for you to pay your bills and all that good stuff. Got to worry about your own marketing, your own branding. So when you think about it, it's good to start somewhere else because that knocks off all the different tasks you have to do. When you go to somebody else's salon, they purchase the products, they market for you, they give you clients. And when you stay there for a long time, build you build your knowledge of how a spa should be ran outside of being in school. Because when you're in school, you only learn but so much. You don't get to see the actual flow of a salon or a spa. So you get to see the flow of a salon or spa. You don't have to worry about purchasing products. They 9 times out of 10 do the marketing and branding. They do the bookkeeping. All you gotta do is show up to work and get paid. Of course, do the work. You know what I mean. All you gotta do is show up to work, service the client, get paid. You gotta, Ms. Lauren, you want to add anything to that?
I was just gonna say, for me, I wanted to really learn how to wax.
Mhm.
So it was important for me to go to a place that taught me how to wax.
Mhm.
I worked at European Wax Center. And they gave me like amazing training. It wasn't the best place for me to work, but I knew when it was time for me to go, and I got exactly what I wanted.
Mhm.
So go for what you want.
Yep.
Really individualize your experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask another question to that question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you said you started at European Wax Center. So did you build your clientele from those people that you were already waxing, or did you do, your separate things outside of your day job?
The European Wax Center, they actually have a clause that you can't, they have a non-compete clause, which means that you can't do anything that is within competition with them. So you can't wax outside of there. So that's another reason why I didn't stay there very long too, because I felt like I was cutting myself short. So and you can't build clientele in somebody else's business because it's unethical. So I don't know, that goes back to like maybe your content that you're creating, that like, building your brand, your stage presence online. That way people know, who you are, what you represent, and then they'll make that decision to choose you every time.
Yep.
And European Wax Center gives you great training. They absolutely do.
You did it here like in Maryland, or you were like in nursing?
I was in Annapolis. But they have different ones, But figure out what your goal is. The goal isn't necessarily to stay there a long period of time.
It's just a practice.
To practice, learn, see how their system works, see how they build selling products, whatever. Just like really open your eyes to what could be and move on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
What is the most off the wall, craziest question a client has ever asked you that took you back?
What's the craziest question a client has ever asked me?
Or what is the I guess something that you've seen that you had to like catch yourself like, okay, wait, hold on, let me not. Oh, okay, and just move forward. Yes.
Thank God I've never really had really bad experiences, but I could tell you somebody else's experience. I've never really had really bad experiences. I had 2 bad instances, and that one I told y'all about, and then there was another one for another male, and that was it. But last year, or it was this year, there was a trend going around where female waxers was giving happy endings at the end of each wax service.
Oh, that's what they do now?
So that's real outlandish. That right there is outlandish. If somebody asks me, oh, I went to this one lady and she gave me a happy ending. Do you think you could do that? That would be the day you hit me cuss you smack out. Like I would tell you where you could go. I would definitely like get you together. Yeah, I would definitely be like, you done lost your mind.
Okay, and the previous question.
I think that goes like that's the question. Yes, that I never had nobody ask me that, but if somebody did ask me that, I don't know. That would be wild.
This actually was this year. I had a client who I was waxing. She asked me, "Has anybody ever moaned while they were getting waxed?" I'm like, "No."
Ew.
So she did she's older. You know how like older people do like older noises and stuff. Like if they sit, like even sitting down, getting up, stuff like that. And I'm waxing and I'm going around the lips or whatever. She's like, "Ooh," and she was like, "Anybody ever moaned?"
Mm-mm.
And it was kind of awkwardly silent for a little bit.
Yeah, I would fire her.
Oh, fire!
You just tell her you want to know.
But some people they like respond to touch like that too, so it could be a thing. But you know, when you're working around the lips, you really don't want to do that area too much anyway, so it's more pressure.
It's open.
Yeah, pressure.
Hello. Oh, nice. That was fast.
Hello. Okay,
Leah.
you know what this is, right?
Hey.
Yeah.
Table paper.
Can you make sure they get something?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Tommy. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm trying to think because people do ask wild stuff, but I feel like I just disregarded it.
Yeah, you get a lot of random stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to distinguish what's wild and what's random because people ask you a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is that I'm so goofy, y'all. That's why I was laughing. And it might be a serious question that they may have.
You just gotta hold it in.
Or you gotta know your audience, feel the room.
Mhm.
Okay, she laughing, I might like laugh too. Like, she ain't laughing, I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
What you got, Charmaine?
Okay, so this is for both Miss Lawrence. Okay, things you wish you knew about the industry prior to getting into it.
If you would have let me know you was gonna ask that question, I would have wrote a whole lot of stuff down.
yeah.
You want to go first while I collect my thoughts?
I wish I knew. I wish I was a little bit more direct when I initially started with negotiation.
Yes.
Because you just getting out of school doesn't mean that you have to be paid at a certain lower level or whatever. Like everything doesn't. You don't have to go like tit for tat like that. What else is that? Something that I wish I knew. I wish I understood how lucrative it could have been, and then dived a little bit deeper into it.
Yes.
Because it is a business that you could do so much. Like it's crazy. Like even now, we can teach classes or whatever, so the possibilities are endless. So it's really hard, like figuring out what's for you, what's your lane, what's going to be your thing that you like contribute towards your clients. Because everybody's going to be different. Like we all want to do the same thing, but we're going to do it in different ways. So learning how to individualize it is the hardest part.
Yeah, because I'm in a Facebook group and this girl made post was like, "It's so many estheticians out here. Like I feel like there's not enough out here." But I'm like, and I am like, everybody doesn't do the same thing like you said. Like there's so
It's
much
not for
room.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
So sad. So sad. I was just talking to a student yesterday, and I was writing down the mathematical price, or I was writing down like the math that would give her salary, right?
That's all I
Let's pull out some. Anybody got some paper?
Okay.
Anybody got some paper and a calculator?
Okay, which one you want? You want to do the?
Let's say 4 years from now,
Okay.
you start charging $75 for a Brazilian. Let's say you see 10 Brazilian clients a day. So it's 75 times $750 a day. Praise the Lord.
How many days right now?
If you work let's say you work 5 days out of the week, 3,750 freaking dollars.
Come in.
How much is that? How much is that? That's a week, right?
Yeah.
How much is that a freaking 5 days? How much is that a year?
I make 40
That's-
weeks, right? I did that, y'all.
Hold on, sorry.
I did the math.
I need all y'all to bring that thing. Come on. Where you bring that thing? Line up. $195.
So you're making we could make 6 figures So I wish, to piggyback off of what Ms. Lawrence said, I wish I knew how lucrative the business was, and I wish I knew how important my job is as an esthetician. When I first started doing facials, I was telling people it's a luxury, which is not true. Y'all know we do preventative care, right? So that means I'm the next step before you go see your dermatologist. Come to me once a month, and it will prevent hospital bills, prescriptions, all of that good stuff. I did not know that we did preventative care. I knew it, but I didn't apply it to myself. So it was like as if I underestimated myself. I didn't have confidence in myself. So I would take pictures of something and I'd be like, this don't look like this, so I'm not gonna post it. So I got in the habit of being inconsistent with social media. Like, so I just wish that I was way more confident in the field that I was in and in the work that I was doing. Because had I been more confident, I could have been making way more. 100,095. What is it? 195,000 a year is the bare minimum of how much I could have been making. So
You said 75? Okay. That's fine. Everything.
Because I go get my Brazilian and I get
I'm
my
up on myself.
right there.
girl,
$90 right there. I know my Brazilian $90 right there.
and when you think about it, so
Plus
That's 30 minutes.
plus the invitationals now.
Yeah. 30 minutes.
when you think about it, underarms, I think underarms 4 years from now, you shouldn't be charging no less than $30 for an underarm, and that's the minimum. So 75 plus 30, what is that like? That's $105. If half of your clients get that bundle, that's increased. Like, I mean, it's just so many levels to increasing your service ticket, or what is it called? Like your I forget what it's called, but it's so many upsells. It's so many different things that you can add on to, each person's service ticket to build your revenue. What the number say?
273,000.
Come on now.
For that's if you do the Brazilian and underarm combo.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want a Brazilian? Okay. Let's do that. Okay, but your underarms.
No, not like that. Not like that.
Okay, so that's the question. Okay, so I have another question. Going off of that, how do you if you feel like your client, because you don't want to suggest something they don't need.
Right.
How do you approach your client, letting them know, like, I noticed this, you should get this service today? How do you approach them without making them feel like you're trying to upsell?
You got an answer for that one, Miss Lauren?
Because you know they need it, but
I mean, everything's situational, so it depends how it comes out and it depends what it is. But most times for me, I don't get caught in the details. I just make sure I just convey the point, or just let them know what the result of whatever it is that is happening, how it happened, and let them make their own decision. Because most people, you don't want to feel like you're telling them what they need, but based off of what you say and the education that you give behind it, why wouldn't they read it? You know what I'm saying? And they'll come around.
Yeah. And then, a lot of people like deals and bundles. A lot of people like saving money. So you'll see a lot of franchises, what they do is they'll say, oh, we have a package. You could save $5. Like something as small as $5. And people will be like, $5? I'll save, yeah. You could save $5 if you do your Brazilian and your underarm together, as a part of our package. So packages, deals, of course, where it's not cutting yourself short, but it's making them feel like you're giving them a deal.
But isn't that what's up? Like you can make your own package. Like even if you didn't have a package, I have a package. Like you really have the full right and reign to tell people what your package is. Like it's beautiful.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
What you got, Leah?
What are some do's and don'ts to this? Well, What are some things that we should? Okay, no. What are some do's and don'ts that you think that we should know before going into this field?
That's a hard one.
Do's and don'ts.
Dude, wash your hands.
Don't get happy endings.
Don't
Yeah,
get
don't get happy.
infection.
Listen, let me say that is rule of thumb for your life. Don't give happy endings. I would say this goes hand in hand with Charmaine's question earlier. Do be consistent. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't lower your help me out. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't lower your standards. When people ask for discounts, people love asking for discounts. I swear, I've met so many people, they don't even know you, but they'll be like, oh, do you got a discount? Or can you run me a discount? Your price is your price. So don't lower your standards. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Do be spontaneous and teachable to, be spontaneous to go learn new things. Do have a vision, do have expectations, do have a plan. Vital. Very, very vital. You want to add anything to that one?
I'll have fun with what you do. Don't do anything that you don't enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what your lane is going to be, because ultimately this is going to be your life.
Mhm.
Your money. So find something that you actually have interest in and you in mind. Like, it's not like you working every single day. Because it's all about quality of life. Some of these clients will really drain you, not only because like they might like put all their information. Sometimes your services, your sessions turn into like therapy sessions, but sometimes a lot of that could weigh on you, or even just like you thinking about it later. So just be solid in who you are, know where to leave it, and just be an individual.
Yep. LaShawn, you got another question?
How do you improve your skills as
One of the best ways is going and getting service with somebody else.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
one of the best ways.
what is it called? It's like a master, like you go under a master. I can't think.
Oh, an apprenticeship?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually know what it feels like to get services. That way you like, oh, I don't really like this, or I don't really like that, or whatever, and just really help it individualize what you want for your business.
Yeah.
So it's different ways to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, you could do an apprenticeship. I mean, but let's say that was last resort. You could definitely get service by somebody else, because I find that once you have a bad service, you'll be like, let me make sure I'm not going to do that. Let me make sure I use pressure. Let me make sure yes. Yes. I would say repetition. Like, do it over and over and over and over and over again. And that'll definitely increase your your skill set. Mm-hmm.
And don't be afraid to ask people for feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. I think the most disabling thing is when you can't take constructive criticism. Coming from a person who used to be very defensive, you couldn't tell me my shoes didn't go well with my shirt without me being like, well, why didn't you help me pick it out? Why don't you go buy me a new, so yeah, take constructive criticism. Even if somebody's giving you BS, take, that saying, take the meat, spit out the bones. Yep. All right. Sierra, you got a question?
What's the weirdest thing someone's asked you to wax?
The weirdest thing somebody has asked me to wax?
Well, it's not weird to wax, but they specifically ask, like, book the service at European Wax Center just for their nothing.
Knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
But it wasn't weird, but it was like, okay.
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
Yeah, you like,
Mm-hmm.
you can do it like you want to pick up.
It should be.
What if somebody comes like, "See, wax my toes?"
Yeah.
Can I record it?
And
Mhm.
can I record it?
Sure, for extra $30, you can record it.
Whoa, not can I record it? Yikes. I think so. I used to have a client. She used to ask me to wax her areola.
Ooh, dang, it was scary.
It wasn't even. It was like 2 strands of hair. She was like, "Can you please?" So she would get a Brazilian, and then I would do her tummy strip, and then later from me going from her tummy strip to her chest to being like, "Oh well, can you get the hair around my areola too?" Like, whatever. Mm-hmm.
When did you guys notice that you wanted to teach?
Haha.
I was gonna ask. That was my
Second part to
question.
Uh-huh.
Second part to her question. Have y'all ever, y'all have y'all independent practice? And have y'all ever, wax people that have their classes that they have, like their master classes that they show you how to do it? Have y'all ever thought about doing something like that? And if so, what would you do? And how would you do it? And what would you charge?
One A, B, C, D.
Right.
Okay.
You know how y'all ever take a test and it'd be like question 3 with A, B, C. Uh-huh.
Okay, so I guess I can break it up. First question.
What made y'all want to be a teacher?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Instructor.
You want to go first?
I always thought that I had, or felt like I had a way of being very relatable in different ways, in different aspects. So I just used the tools that I had and learned where I can apply it. And,
Mm-hmm.
with one of them. If I had a master class, I would do waxing. I would probably charge, I don't know, because people sometimes, and this is another thing, you can't get caught up in like other people's prices too. But you see how much somebody else might get, you be like, yeah, maybe I could like go a little bit lower than that. But I'll probably do like 800 for my class. And teach speed waxing.
So when I was in school, I was thinking to myself, I was like, these teachers don't teach us
Oh,
the daggone thing. So the thought ran across my mind, I could do this, right? But I never really was like, I'm going to do it, right? So the thought started there. If I was a teacher, how would I do it? How would I do it better? Hello, come on in. How would I do it better? But when I started noticing that I didn't want to see clients no more, I started teaching courses. And after I started teaching courses, I just one day was just like, let me call Hair Academy and see if they're, hiring. And then I called, they was hiring, and then that's how I got into it. When I was running my courses, I based my prices off of how long the course was. So of course you want to pay yourself. So set a base rate for how much you want to pay yourself, or set a base rate based on if you're including a kit, all the materials that you're providing, set that base rate, and then you could, flip it. How much do you want to pay yourself? But yeah, I would say courses shouldn't be. I agree with Ms. Lauren. I feel like 800 is a good amount, especially when you're doing like a full body wax course. It's not something that you could just cover in one day. So it's probably going to take you more than one day. And if it does take you one day, it's going to be like 10 hours. So that's a long amount of time, and that's a lot to cover. So I would say 800 would be like a good price. Probably no less than 650.
Yeah.
No less than 650.
So do you have to go back to school as an independent instructor, or you can just use that, like use your experience and your right.
In Maryland, you gotta hold your license for 2 years. In DC, you gotta get instructor's license. In Maryland, I mean in Virginia, you gotta get an instructor's license. Yeah.
So we can't even just like do a little, like teach somebody a little something, then give them a certificate.
You talking about like a certification?
Yeah.
I mean, at your own leisure.
Well,
Yeah.
are they just really gonna be the real deal? Like, are they gonna be able to say, well, I'm certified in this?
I feel like if you got the skill set, you can teach. But you just got to make it clear that you can't license them. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I feel like if you got the skill set, you could teach. Yeah, but just don't deceive nobody. This lady, she got sued. Somebody sued the crap out of her because she was giving away these certificates saying that they was licensed nail techs.
They getting all that work, spending all that money, they couldn't even do nothing with it.
It wasn't that they couldn't do nothing with it; they just got caught. But honestly, some not all nail techs, but some nail techs. I remember back in the day, like when I first started getting my nails done, they didn't. Not all of them had. Not all of them could speak English. Not all of them had valid license. Some of them were, straight from their home country. So yeah, and it was just a family business. But nowadays you see people putting their license on their stations and stuff like that because now it's a requirement to have your license on your station.
They say the girl name. You gonna say L. You gonna say L. The girl name's L. But on the license it says
Of course, because that's probably her real name.
And then the other license said the same exact name with different pictures.
Oh,
Yeah, they do that at my nail salon.
nice.
They say that they're all licensed for waxing, but one of the girls who I usually get waxed by looks like maybe a sophomore in high school. Like she's still in high school. So I stopped getting my eyebrows waxed there.
Dang, I didn't ever even think about that. They just take one person's license, copy it.
I'm trying to figure out, okay, because another one name is Kayla.
Don't tell me the same person's name was on that certificate. That's funny.
I mean, I'm so nosy. I be sure to grab it.
I think I did see something like that though. Not to look over and see the same license, but
So they can say, no, that's mine. No, nobody
dang. Well, anybody else got a question that they want to throw out there?
Yes, would you go to somebody that's not certified to get a service done?
Perfect example. Like, let's say y'all graduate and y'all start working from home. As a teacher, all right, and I'm just talking about myself. As a teacher, I would visit you. Let's say you want to get some extra practice in after you graduated. I would definitely get serviced by you. Shoot, I gotta get serviced by y'all when y'all in here anyway. So as an instructor, I would. As a family member of somebody who is in school, I would. But as if I found you on style seat and I found out that you wasn't licensed, if I already was going to you and you do a pretty good job, I probably would still keep going. But if I didn't go to you previously without, or what am I trying to say? If I had not come to you before and I found out that you weren't licensed, it wouldn't be my preference to come to you.
But what if you already say, well, I'm a student esthetician?
That's their choice. By you putting that out there, it's no longer in your hands if they decide to come to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what we do here. Sometimes, not all the times, but typically when you go to a school, you have to sign, a consent form. to say I know that I'm getting serviced by a student. So if something goes wrong, then
It's on you.
it's on you. Mm-hmm.
And you can see.
Precisely.
You really don't get nothing.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your favorite, I guess they call them low-end products, and some of your favorite high-end products?
Nice question. Miss Lauren, you got any favorite low end products?
Stuff that people overlook all the time, but it's really good. Even though it's cheap.
Ordinary and Incubus. Hello, Carpenter.
What is that? Is that the one that's the Sephora brand?
Incubus?
Yeah. I think, yeah, I would say that.
Oh, right, that
There's a way to do facials and things like that. And how we use dermatological hair. But is it required for us to use dermatological when we graduate? Or could we use something else? And if we use something else, it doesn't feel like dermatological. Do you feel like it's just the investment in yourself to buy the dermatological product?
Well, when you're getting products, you're gonna always have to play around with products,
Mm-hmm.
right? And always, because they will come up with different formulations and things like that. So if you use dermatological and you like it, go what you like, but you still have to be open to the possibility of other stuff. Because your client will ask you about it.
Mm.
They'll ask you like, besides dermatological, what else?
Right.
Or the same, what's the low end, whatever, that's still good. So it's your job to know about products.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at Duke's or Dermalogica, because I'm a little broken. And the new Aveeno oatmeal something line is equivalent to the calming, like gentle skin.
Yeah.
Dermalogica.
Mm-hmm. I like my favorite brand. This is a high end brand. My favorite high end brand is Origins, hand down. I feel like they better than Dango and Dermalogica if you ask me. Origins, Origins. Yep. Origins is outrageously good.
What about waxing products?
Let's hear those.
Because I'm trying to be a good waxer.
Yeah. See, what I'm saying?
These things called black coral or something like that.
That's what we have.
My favorite wax brand is Waxness. I'm sorry, could y'all hear me when I say that? Yeah, my favorite wax brand is Waxness. They have post treatments, pre treatments, home care, all that good stuff. It's pretty inexpensive. I think the most you'll spend for a bag of wax probably be like $25. And they also have lower prices as well.
You can make your money back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what the most expensive thing is for me right now is fertility. Because I want to be a travel one just for now, because I don't have a student, I don't want people in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I do student life,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a wooden more like this, because I feel like I'm a heavy girl. So I know I'll break it. I don't want nobody to break it. That's another $100 and something that I have to spend. So is it the right thing to make the investment now, or just go ahead and get the wood table until I
You know what it takes until you get.
Mm-hmm.
This is start you off, because you want to make your money back.
All right.
So you don't want to just go and, because you can always put your money into, I got the wooden one. So right now we're just trying to build something. It's just, that's my solid. I know once I make my money back, then I can go higher with anything else that I want. So to start off, I think the wooden one would be good.
And then also too, excuse me. Also too, these tables have a weight limit. So you could, if a client, I think some of them have a weight limit 500, some of them have a weight limit 300. So, knowing that knowledge, it helps you out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And to be quite honest, I had a client. I think my table limit had to be like 500, and I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but I think my client was a little over 500, and it was fine. Oh, which one?
See, I just keep on walking past. When I have no more paper for the table.
It's right there. You can take 2 rows over there. Yeah. So, we probably gonna have to do a part 2. So y'all keep on writing questions down, but these questions were pretty good. It's gonna be on YouTube, so you could go back, watch it over, take notes, all that good stuff.
Can I give them a resource? So it's score.org. Score.org is a part of the Small Business Association. So basically how it works is these are people who have worked with small businesses. They'll help formulate small businesses and help people get to where they are within their business. And this is their form of giving back. So what you can do is go to score.org. You can find a mentor and they'll help you set up your business. And you have to do the work, but they help guide you. So that could help you navigate it a little bit better without having to take those little tips of maybe, you don't know what you're doing or whatever the case may be.
Nice.
You can meet with them, like whatever y'all agree to, and they help keep you on track.
That's good. Score.org.
Score.org. And trying to start a business, and your head, you just go through so much of, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, but I need to do this, I need to do this, and I need to do this. And they'll be more beneficial to you if you know what you want. If you don't know what you want, it's gonna take y'all. You don't want anybody to feel like they're wasting their time. So do your work and then make sure that they can help and they can, get it all together and help you.
I have one question. You know how I would like this coffee because I feel like they don't even look so like a business card. So what if you had the online one and you said you do a virtual card? Or what you think is best? Just for us starting out. Should we do the paper one?
Because you never know. Some people, it depends on like people's love languages, what they're attracted to, what they really like. Some people like touch, like they like the feel of an actual card. Some people don't like your Instagram. So have it, so it's like anyway.
Some people don't like cards. I think part of you feel like I know I'm the type of person that don't like cards, but I would like to see it virtually on my phone because everything goes on with your phone.
But you got your barcode on there.
And then you'll be able to just pass them out, even if you feel like somebody throw them in the trash. That's why you just pass them out. And
That's the benefit of having both, because let's say you go to a place that lets you leave your business cards. You know what I mean? It works. It goes hand in hand because nowadays you got the QR codes and all that good stuff. But I say have a physical copy and a digital portfolio or a digital, marketing tool. And then this is kind of, I'm gonna share. Y'all mind if I share a little brief story? I promise it's gonna be quick. Y'all know I like to ramble. So I was doing DoorDash, right? And after clients to make some extra money, I was doing DoorDash or Instacart. And what I would do is I would take my card and I would just staple it to the bag. Or my service menu, staple it to the bag. Because I would never walk up to somebody and be like, I'm an esthetician or I do hair. I just thought that was just like, yeah, I just thought that was just really bad. So
my friend does that when she sees people hair messed up. Yeah, she passes them her card like she sees a kid all beady and pulled out. Yeah, here's my card.
I mean, yes.
Walks off. Oh, she's a good one.
Yeah, she sure is a good one. Right. Somebody be like, what you trying to say? But yeah. So we're gonna do a part 2. Y'all get y'all questions ready. Yeah. Not now, but another day. We're gonna do a part 2. Yep. All right, so I'll make sure to send y'all the link and everything so y'all can rewatch the video.
Oh yes, have Yeah.
So you guys, what's today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys